Hello children, good morning everyone and welcome back in the lecture of class 10th civics chapter number 4. And what is the name of our chapter? Gender, religion and caste, where we have seen in our earlier lecture the relation between gender and politics, religion and politics and caste and politics. Means yes, we have not discussed in detailed manner, but yes, we have seen the relationship between these three social pillars. Okay, so students, we have already started this chapter, and in our earlier session we have discussed in detail about the first pillar of social division, which is gender. Yes, in our lecture we have discussed about gender and politics. Means what is the relationship between gender and politics? Means what? How did this division of gender affect to the politics? So almost at this point we have covered, my dear students. Only one topic is remained there from this point, and today we will be dealing with that point in furthermore slides. Okay children, so let's begin today's lecture. But before that, I would like to give you today's thought, and here it is. One small positive thought in the morning can change the entire outcome of your day. Yes, my dear children, are you agree with this? Definitely. If you start your morning with a one small positive thought, for example, yes, today I'm going to get the new lectures of every subject and I'm going to know something great there. So, this type of positive thought definitely can change the entire outcome of your day. So, with this positivity, let's start today's lecture. But before that, my dear students, I would like to tell you something. I have asked you one question in my earlier lecture. And what was that? Yes, I have asked you there that how many feminist movement have been fought in India. And I'm very surprised. Only one student replied there. And that lucky student is girl. I'm very happy that yes, in our last lecture we have seen about women empowerment, and yes, after that girl power she has answered there, and that lucky girl is Snehal Kulkarni. So Snehal, congratulations, beta. Thank you so much for replying. Again, one more name I want to mention here, and that is also girl only, and she is Ishita Raut. She is also always reply me there that whether she has enjoyed the session or not, and she is asking there, or she always tell me there the feedback that yes teacher, we have understood this concept, or whatever the doubts she asked there. Okay children, so others can also inspired, and whatever the question today I am going to ask, so I want more and more reply from other students also. So boys, get ready to answer of my questions. Okay students, so let's start today's session. So students, as you all know, we have started our chapter and we have discussed there about gender and politics. So here I would like to give you snap recap of the point whatever we have seen till now. Okay, which point we have started students? Gender and politics. And in that point we have seen how did gender affects to the politics. So let's see here that here I have mentioned the overview of the chapter. So in this chapter we apply the ideas of social difference to the practice of democratic system in India. Yes, in our India, different social differences are available there, such as gender we have seen, religion and caste. So we look at these three kinds of social differences that can take the form of social divisions and inequalities. And due to this social division or due to these social differences, what is available there, my dear students? Social divisions and inequalities are available there. Now what is meant by the social division? So in today's topic, it will definitely clear. Okay. Furthermore, this social division, it is about to come. So at that time, this doubt will be definitely clear. So try to understand what I am trying to tell. So these are social differences based on gender, religion and caste. Okay. In this chapter, what are we discussing? There are different types of social differences, and those differences how are available on the basis of gender, religion and caste. These are the three pillars of social differences we can see. So first pillar we have discussed there. Okay, gender and politics means how this gender affects to the politics. So we have seen there, this is a form of hierarchical social division seen everywhere. Yes, why it is called as a hierarchical social division? Because this social division we can say omnipotent. Omnipotent means it is present all over or everywhere, but is rarely recognized in the study of politics. Yes, gender and politics means though it is found everywhere, but it is recognized very rarely in study of politics. Then the gender division tends to be understood as natural and unchangeable. So students, we have seen there that on the basis of gender, division of labor is available there. Yes, and what is the division of labor? We have seen. Okay, now my dear students, try to understand what I am doing here. I am revising the chapter. How you have to keep in your mind this chapter. Okay, already we have discussed these points. Okay, again, one more thing which I have forgotten to tell you here. Please keep your textbook with you, my dear students, and open the chapter there in front of you. Okay, and every day after listening this lecture, every day read the chapter, and before means whatever the next day lectures will be available there, so before that also read the chapter. Means your teachers, they are telling you there that which points or which topics they are going to cover in next lecture. So if you are knowing there that your teacher which chapter or which topics are going to cover, so already you can read it at home, and while she will be explaining that time, whatever the doubts will be there, you can understand it in a proper manner. Okay children, so I hope your textbooks are with you. So what did we discuss there? The gender division tends to be understood as natural and unchangeable. Means whatever there is the division of labor, the belief is available there that it is natural. Means where from it come? So it comes from nature, and it's unchangeable. Means it will never gonna be changed. Then not based on biology but on social expectation and stereotypes. Then whatever this gender division is available there, so it is not based on biology. Means we have seen there the difference between sex and gender. Okay, so whatever the division is available there on the basis of gender, it is not based on biology but based on social expectation and stereotypes. Means it has developed with the expectations of society. Okay children, so I hope you people are clear with this. So we have started our lecture with the image of one Bengal woman, or the means which is the poster from Bengal affirming women's strength. our lecture, it has started with that image. Then we have seen about the sexual division of labor. Okay, then we have seen there that whatever the division of labor is available there, it understood as a natural and unchangeable. Then next point we have seen there, public and private division, where we have seen the division of labor in public and in private. So most public work, which gender prefers? Yes, male. And most of private work, which gender prefers? Female. Then we have seen there sexual division of labor. Yes, and in that we have seen there the different responsibilities of women and men. Okay, so this is all about public and private division. Then we have seen that yes, means women's, they had to face there the lots of discrimination. And where are the roots? So roots of this discrimination were available in history. Okay, and when women got to know that this is a kind of discrimination, so that time they started to fight for their rights, and they started to demand for the equal rights. And for these equal rights, whatever the movements have been fought, these movements called as a feminist movement. Now what is meant by the feminist movement? So already we have discussed. Then we have seen there the result of feminist movement. Okay, so in Scandinavian countries such as Sweden, Norway, Finland, the result of feminist movement was very good. But in India, women still much lag behind. Means the result of feminist movement was not very good in India. Still, in India, women much lag behind. And why this thing happened? Due to the patriarchal society. Means why the result of feminist movement was not that much good in India compared to the Scandinavian country or compared to the developed country. What was the reason? Due to the patriarchal society. And we have seen there the meaning of patriarchal society also, my students. Yes, what is meant by the patriarchal society? Where literally men ruled. Understood? Then due to this patriarchal society, women had to face, or women face disadvantage, discrimination and oppression in various ways. Okay children, so till now I hope you understood. In detail we have understood it in our earlier lecture. So it's means I am revising it. Okay, now the last point which I have mentioned here, due to this patriarchal society, women face their disadvantage, discrimination and oppression in various ways. So students, here one 5-mark question can be framed, which has been asked in 2019. So here the answer I have mentioned. Okay children, so what can be there the question? That explain the various ways of discrimination due to the patriarchal society. Okay, or one direct question which can be framed. So at the end of this lecture I have provided list of questions that on the basis of this topic what type of question can be asked. Okay, so try to understand it. Already we have discussed about it, so you can take the screenshot of it or you can note down the points. Okay children, if the question will be available there, that what are there the different aspects of life where women are discriminated. So you have to write these 5 points whatever I have mentioned on, and these 5 points are available in your textbook also, which has been plotted there with the red bullet points. Okay, on page number 42 and on page number 43. So these these 5 to 6 points you have to mention for the answer of this question. First point is their literacy rate. Then second point is their women remuneration, means salary. Literacy rate, see there, women's literacy rate is less compared to the men. Then women are paid less than men even when both do same work. For example, in factories, films, women are paid less as compared to the men. Then third point, in India, parents prefers to have son than girl. They find many ways to have the girl child aborted before birth. All this point in detail we have discussed in our earlier lecture, students. Okay, why I am revising? Because you have to connect with the chapter. Okay, then the fourth point, this decline in the sex ratio. So we have already discussed in our earlier lecture what is meant by the sex ratio. So if the question will be there that what are the different aspects of life where women are discriminated, so you have to mention all these points whatever I have mentioned in this slides. So these 2 points, then third and fourth, you can take the screenshot of it, my students. I can wait here. Okay, then here also 2 points I have mentioned. So if you write all these 6 points and if you sum up your answer, then definitely 5 out of 5 marks you can get it. Okay children, so till now I hope the story is cleared. So till now what have we seen? Yes, we have started our chapter with the gender and politics, with the image, where we have seen the sexual division of labor or the division of labor on the basis of gender. Then we have seen there that it is understood, natural and unchangeable. Then we have discussed there about the public and private division on the basis of gender, right? Then we have discussed or we have studied there that women started to get aware towards their rights and they started to fight for their own rights, and they moved towards the feminist movements and they fought there the different feminist movement. And then we have seen that due to this different feminist movement, they started to get the recognition and they started to work as a scientist, doctor, engineers, lawyers, managers. Okay, but all over world the result was different there. It means in some countries the result was very good and in some countries result was not that much good compared to the developed countries. And in India we have seen there that the result was not that much good, and reason also we have seen, due to the patriarchal society the result of feminist movement was not that much good, and because of this patriarchal society women had to face the discrimination or the oppression in various ways. So till now I hope the picture is clear or the story is clear. Now we are going to discuss a very important topic, and which is that women's political representation. So students, before starting this point, I want to ask you, what did you understand from this? Women's political representation means what? The number of women in politics. Yes, correct. So again, the next question I want to ask to you, I want to know the answer from you, that how many lady prime minister we are having till now? Yes? Yes, some are answering. Yes, some of you are answering here. Yes, how many? Only one. And who was that? Yes, Indira Gandhi. Then how many women or how many lady president we were having or we are having till now? Only one. And who was that person? Pratibha Patil. Yes children, now why I am asking this question to you? Because the point which we are going to study, women's political representation in India or all over the world, we are going to see from both point of view. Means we are going to study this point as far as India is concerned, and we will study this point from the world perspective also. So, from this example, students, you can understand that in India, how much political representation is available there related to the women. Or if we see the women's political representation in India, this is very low. So let's see. In India, the proportion of women in legislature has been very low. But students, before discussing this point, I want to ask you again one question, that why should we study this point, women's political representation? What is the importance of this point, women's political representation? Yes? So my dear children, till now, what did you understand or what have we studied? So till now, we have studied there that various types of discrimination and inequalities are available in our society on the basis of gender, right? Till now means till our last point we have understood this, that various kinds of discrimination and inequalities are available in our society on the basis of gender. Now the question comes there, if we want to overcome to this problem, then what is the solution? So my dear students, in one line we can give solution to this problem, and what is that solution? More and more women should be politically empowered. Means what? Means more women should elected there as a representative, and that's why we need to understand here this point, women's political representation. Okay children, I hope the point is clear now. Then the second thing, which is very important again. So who has suggested about this women's political representation? So some political scientists are available there or philosophers are available there who believe that if the women will be elected there as a representative, then whatever the problems they are facing in the society, they will be dealing in a better way with those problems, and they will be giving there the proper and great solution to the problem. Understood children? But what is reality? Let's see. So the reality is here I have mentioned in first point. In India, the proportion of women in legislature has been very low. If you see the proportion of women in legislature, it's very low. And how much it is? So in your textbook, in second paragraph, below this point has been mentioned the proportion of women in legislature. So let's see my dear students, it's available in second paragraph. How much it is? 12% Lok Sabha, mean 12% in Lok Sabha in 2014. Okay, 5% in state assembly. In state assembly situation is very bad again. And in world if we see in average, so 23.5% women representation is available there in politics. Means India is behind the average for several developing countries of Africa and Latin America. Here it is available, the statement. Student means what? Let me explain this. Means India is behind with the other developing countries. Okay, means if we compare to our country with the other developing country in proportion of women in political representation, then India is too much behind. So we need to think about it, my dear students, and that's why we need to study this point in our syllabus. Now let's move on towards the second point. India is among the bottom group of nations in the world. Is it good, my dear children? India is behind several developing countries. Means here the table is mentioned, okay, and you can see with the help of this table the proportion of women's political representation in India. In your textbook, on last number, India is available there. Understood, students? So this is all about the women's political representation. Means here we can say, students, that in our country whatever solution is suggested for the women's problem or towards the discrimination and inequalities whatever have been faced by women, so whatever the solution is suggested there, those solution is failed in our country. And why it is failed in our country? Because very less political representation is available there of women in our country. Now let's see there that completely it was not the thing. मीन्स क्या ऐसा था कि कोई प्रयत्न नहीं किए गए थे फॉर वुमेन्स पॉलिटिकल रिप्रेजेंटेशन. सो लेट्स सी in our next slide. So here it will clear. So one way to solve this problem is to make it legally binding to have fair proportion of women in the elected bodies. Means what, students? So one way to solve this problem, we know very well what is the problem. So discrimination and inequalities were available there and women's political representation was there very less. So to have fair proportion of women in the elected bodies, means fair proportion means equal proportion should be available there in elected bodies. And for this purpose, in Panchayat Raj, 1/3 of seats are reserved for women. Okay, but this provision is available on local level. In our earlier chapter we have studied about it. Okay children, so see, let's try to understand this point. Means in the amendment of the constitution which has been done there in 1992 में जो amendment हुआ था constitution का, under that amendment 1/3 of seats are reserved for women. But where? In Panchayati Raj. In Panchayati Raj means in local government. Okay, in state government or in central government this provision have not been done there. So under this provision, near about 10 lakh women are available there in local government. How many? 10 lakhs women are available there in local government. So the same is being planned for the Lok Sabha also. Means whatever the women's representation is available there in local government, the same was expected there or same is being planned for the Lok Sabha also. But what happened, my dear students? The bill is still pending. Okay, and why that bill is still pending, you have to answer me, because we have discussed all these things in federalism. If we have to pass any bill, then what are there the requirements we have discussed in our earlier chapter. So that's why, my dear students, I hope you understood now. Each and every chapter you have to study properly, because each and every chapters are connected with each other. ऐसा नहीं है कि सेकेंड चैप्टर हमने पढ़ लिया तो हमने वो सारे कंसेप्ट वहीं पे रख लिए, एंड फॉर फोर्थ चैप्टर और फॉर थर्ड चैप्टर वी विल नॉट revising those concepts. No, not like that. You have to keep all the concepts in your mind very, very clearly. Okay, children? So I hope you understood here this point, women's political representation. Before concluding this point, children, again, I want to ask you one question, that whatever the division is available there in politics on the basis of gender, is it good or not? Or the expression of gender division in the politics, is it good or bad? So you have to reply or you have to answer of this question in feedback section. So students, here we have completed the one pillar of this chapter, gender and politics. Now let's move on towards the second pillar, which is religion, communalism and politics. So students, in today's lecture we will deal with religion and politics. Let's try to understand what is the relationship between religion and politics, or how this religion affects to the politics. Okay, then about communalism we will be dealing in our next lecture. So let's start with this point, religion and politics, where we are going to discuss what is the relation between religion and politics. Okay, student, but before starting this point, one thing I want to tell you here, that this point is very, very important as far as your board exam is concerned. Means direct question can be framed on this topic. So let's try to understand first this topic and what type of question can be framed on this topic we will discuss further. So let's try to understand here the concept, what is religion and politics. So students, we have to relate here religion with politics. What did I say? It's a very simple term, children. Let's try to understand in a simple manner that we have to relate here religion with politics. Okay, so here I will give you basic idea about religion means what. So how religion plays important role in politics, all the things we will discuss under this point, or all the things we will discuss in this point. What did I say, students? I will give you here the basic idea about religion, that how religion plays important role in politics. Understood? So let's start. So as here I have mentioned, students, these three words. Okay, religion, differences and social division. So let's talk about first religion. So as you all know, my dear students, different religions are available there in our society, such as Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai and so on. So in every religion, what are available there? Differences are available there. What did I say? In our society, different religions are available there, and in every religion, differences are available there. Now, what are these differences? So, there are different rituals, different practices are available there. Okay, and it is justified also in our constitution also, means it has been justified. Okay, but because of these differences, divisions are also available. Because of these differences, social divisions are also available. Now definitely question is there in your mind, what is meant by the social division. So as I have promised you in the starting of this lecture, that yes, I will make you understand what is meant by social division. So let's try to understand here. Students, what did I say? Different religions are available there. Okay. First we have seen there that different religions are available there, and in those religion differences are available there, means different practices are available there, different rituals are available there, and due to these differences what happened? Social divisions are available there. Now what is mean by this? So students, here I want to give you an example of your class only. Means you people are in 10th standard. All students are all students are there in 10th standard. Okay, so consider your 10th standard as a religion. Okay, then in this religion or in this 10th standard differences are there, means different boys are available there, girls are available there. Okay, the number of girls and number of boys are different there, and due to these differences what happened? Social divisions, means different divisions are available there. Which are those divisions? 10th A, 10th B, 10th C, 10th D. So the same example you have to relate here also. In our society, what are available there? Religions are available there, and in those religion differences are available there, and due to these differences what happens? Social divisions happens there. Means what? Some means in society, upper class people available there, lower class people available there, and middle class people available there. So due to these differences social divisions happen there. For example, we have seen there in Northern Ireland, means in Northern Ireland, Catholics and Protestants were available there. So due to these differences they had to divide their country only. Okay, so I hope students this thing is cleared. Okay, now here I want to tell you that in means two religion differences are available there. This thing you can understand, but again this is not a compulsion that in two religions only divisions can be available there or differences can be available there. It may be within the same religion also. For example, in Christian or in Christianity, two means differences are available there, such as Protestant and Catholics. So just now I have given you the example there. Okay, so I hope it is cleared now. Now coming back to this point here, this division is not as universal as gender, but religious diversity is spread across the world. What did I say, students? Means what? So students, I request you all, please try to understand this point with the patience, because this is very important point. If the concept will clear, then definitely very easily you can understand this point. So what does this tells? Point number 1 here, this division is not as universal as gender. Means the division of on the basis of religion is not universal as gender. Means on the basis of gender we can find there the division all over the world, but religious diversity is spread across the world. Means it is also available there in the world, but in some part it's not there or it's not available. So religious diversity is spread across the world. Then the second point, try to understand, unlike gender differences, the religious differences are often expressed in the field of politics. Means what? Unlike gender differences, means gender differences is not every time expressed in politics, but the religious differences are often expressed in the field of politics. Means what? Means religious differences are being more highlighted in politics by different political leaders. What I am trying to make you understand, students, here, that unlike gender differences, the religious differences are often expressed in the field of politics. Means in case of gender differences we have seen there. The political representation of women are very less there. Means it is not that much expressed, or it has not given that much importance in politics compared to the religion, or compared to the religious differences. So religious differences are often expressed in the field of politics. Means religious differences are being more highlighted in politics by different political leaders. Means what, students? Here means there are different examples are available around us. Sometimes political leaders they take there the disadvantage, or they try to spread there the misconception among the society on the basis of religion. Many examples are available with us. Okay, children? So now here you need to understand that why should we study this religion and politics. So students, that's why we need to study, or we need to understand here the role of religion in politics. Means why did some philosophical scientists they give the importance to the religion in politics? What was the ideas behind it? I hope students the point is clear here. Okay? Means what? We have to study here this religion in politics from both aspect. Means from good way also and from wrong way also. Means if we use religion in politics in good way, then outcomes will be different, and if we use religion in a wrong way in politics, then outcomes definitely will be different. Okay, so understood, my children, the basic concept or the basic idea about religion, or how this religion plays important role in politics. Okay, so different opinions are available there regarding this, my children, which I have mentioned in furthermore slides. So students, here these are the different opinions about the role of religion in politics. So here I have mentioned in a question answer format only. And why did I mention in a question answer format? Because this is also the answer of one question, and this question also have been asked in your exam. So try to understand what are we trying to understand here. The role of role of religion in politics, and related to this different opinions are available there. So try to understand. First of all, here Gandhiji's opinion have been mentioned, and what Gandhiji wanted to say. Gandhiji believed that politics must be guided by ethics drawn from religion. Means as far as Gandhiji's opinion is concerned about politics, he believed that politics must be guided by ethics drawn from religion. Means what? Means in every religion some moral and ethics values are available there. Means what Gandhiji wanted to say here, my dear students, Gandhiji wanted to say there that politics cannot be separated from the religion, or religion cannot be separated from the politics. And why? So in every religion some values and ethics are available there. For example, in every religion humanity it has been told there, or honesty is available there in every religion. Every religion it tells there that humanity should be there. So what exactly Gandhiji wanted to convey here, or what did Gandhiji mean here, that if every political leaders apply this basic values and ethics in politics, such as humanity, honesty, then politics become definitely good, not good, very good, we can say there. Means if religion will apply there in a good way in politics, then definitely outcomes would be there different. And who believed this? Gandhiji believed this. And that's why he said there that religion cannot be separated from politics. But from which point of view he had said there that? From the moral values or from the ethic values. Okay, but some people they misunderstood about it, and they took it in a wrong way. So it will clear in the second point. Human rights group demanding the government to take the special steps to protect religious minority. Okay, so some people or some leaders, they took the idea which has been proposed by Gandhiji, they took it in a wrong way, and they promote religious ideas in politics in a wrong way. And because of this, riots or communal riots started to happen. Communal riots means dange. Because of this misconception, communal riots started to happen there, and इसका सबसे ज़्यादा असर बच्चों किसके ऊपर हुआ? तो इसका सबसे ज़्यादा असर हुआ minorities के ऊपर. Okay, now what is this? Religious minorities. So some religions are available here which are less in number. So those religions or those people from those people from the religious minority, in a simple way I want to explain you here what is meant by religious minority. So students, if you see the example of our country, then in our country Hindu religion is in a majority, and Christian or Muslim, these people are in minority. So these religion is called as the minority religion because they are in minority or they are less in number. So whatever the communal riots happened due to this misconception of religion, these religious minority, they had to face the problems, and that's why they wanted the protection, and special steps also had been taken there from the government to protect this religious minority. Now the third point is available here. Women's movement wants government to change family laws to make it equitable. Now students, in some religion, some family laws are guided by religion only. Means some family laws have been framed there on the basis of religion only. So women's wanted there those family laws should be changed there, because those family laws are not good for women's. For example, the property right, means in earlier days or in olden days, property right was not available there for women, and gradually when the amendments happened there in our constitution, then now women are also having there the same rights in property. Then in Muslim religion, triple talaq system was available there. So due to this amendment, now these family laws have been changed. Okay, so students, this is the relation between religion and politics. So this is the answer of one question, students. Give a few instances that involve relationship between religion and politics. So these 3 points you have to mention there. I hope you understood this. If you didn't, then you can ask in feedback section. Now children, here I have mentioned that religion and politics Apart from this, all these instances involve a relationship between religion and politics. Means whatever the instances or whatever the points till now we have seen, this built up there the relationship between religion and politics. Then ideas, ideals and values drawn from religions can and perhaps play a role in politics. Means whatever the ideas or whatever the moral values are available there, religion, it plays very important role in politics. Okay, and the last point, political acts are not wrong as long as they treat every religion equally, or whatever the political acts are available there, those acts are not wrong till what? Kab tak? As they treat every religion equally. If they are treating every religion equally, then no political acts are wrong. Understood? So in this way, the part 1 we have completed here of religion and politics. In our next session, students, we will see there communalism. Okay, now some questions I have mentioned here which can be asked on the basis of this part. And students, these questions are important question. You have to write this question in your notebook as a extra question. Okay, or you can don't write this question in your notebook, write this question as an extra question in your portfolio file. Okay, so first question here I have mentioned, what does gender division mean, which we have discussed. What do you understand by sexual division of labor? Give some examples. How can you say that women's role in public life is minimal? What are different instances involved in relationship between religion and politics just now, which we have seen? This is the answer of that question which I have mentioned in last here. Okay, now long answer type question. Only one question I have given here which has been asked in 2019, which is, women still lag much behind men in India despite some improvement since independence. Analysis the statement. Or women in India still face discrimination in various ways. So explain with the example. So students, this is all about today's lecture. Now in furthermore lecture or in next lecture, which points we are going to cover? Communalism, secularism, caste and politics. Okay, communalism and secularism, with these 2 points, our second pillar we will complete, which is that religion, communalism and politics, and the third pillar we will start there, caste and politics. So of this third pillar we will see there the introduction of this third pillar, where we will discuss caste and equalities. Okay, now why did I tell you this thing, students? Because before attending next lecture you have to read all these points. So I hope you people have enjoyed today's lecture, you people understood today's lecture, and if you are having any doubts, my dear students, definitely you can ask, or in our next session we will do there the quick revision of today's lecture. So till then, keep studying, stay blessed, stay healthy. Thank you so much.